Jai Gurudev, everybody, welcome to Sripita Nilaya. So, today nothing much happened, just that I got the visit of one of my birds. They came to see, one of them came to see me, it was so lovely. And one thing what made me really laugh, I got one message, actually a picture message of three orangutan sitting and laughing, and it was written on it, they were planning, the human were planning to step on Mars in 2020, and they were laughing because they can't even step out of the house. This picture made me really laugh, thinking how many plans human beings have. So many plans, and but yet they don't even know what is tomorrow. What will be tomorrow? Nothing, nobody knows. But yet everybody have constantly a lot of plan. Whether this plan will be fulfilled or not, it doesn't matter. But with which state one is always planning. It's amazing. That's why it is said, in the Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter 24, verse 66, where it said, "O king, people are mad about planning. They're constantly in planning one things to the other." So with which attitude they are planning? With greed. Because you see, of their existence in life, one is always planning, but due to greed, to satisfy their needs of the outside, not knowing that at any moment everything can change in their life. A click of finger, everything can change. Like it is said, just like a snake, just jump up on a mouth, unknowing, and swallow the mouth, just like that. Death can come at any time. Changes can come at any time. Nature can change everything at any time, But yet, human being constantly plan. And in which attitude they plan everything? They plan it with an attitude of greed. An attitude of, yes, I am doing that. No. It's not an attitude of humbleness. It's not an attitude of, what can I contribute for the change, What can I give to this world? There is not an attitude of that. Most of the time it's about I, mine, mine. So that's what I was thinking about. It's really, the whole world goes in that way. So I'll ask Jai Gopal to ask you a question.
How can one deal with the pressure of perfectionism in career, life goals, etc., and the thoughts of never being enough?
Exactly what I was just saying right now. It's funny, because you see, I don't look at all the question from the people. The question is asked directly there and I answer. But that explain, actually I already give you the answer. You see, if you're looking for perfection into the outside world, there is no perfection into the outside world. Because everything which is born into this outside world is born with a determination to finish. So when you talk about perfection, you're talking about something which lasts for long. And that what lasts for long is the perfection of who you are, the perfection of the self. And that will happen only when you start to understand that what you're looking for is not into this material world. Of course, you have to be in the material world. You must work, you must earn your living. But life is not just about that. Life is much more than that. Life is to rediscover your true self. And beyond that also, because just discovering your true self is not the ultimate. The ultimate reality is to go deeper within that self and discover the Lord which is seated inside of yourself. And this is the aim of life, just like I was telling you earlier. You plan and plan and plan, and then one moment to the other, death is knocking at your door. Finish. I always tell a beautiful story. A man which is working. Throughout his life, he worked. And at the end, when he took pension, he started to count his money. And he was counting. And he was so happy that he had $100 million. And as he was counting, he noticed there is somebody behind him. Sometimes you can see by the side of your eyes, And he noticed there's someone standing there. And he looked, and he see death is standing there. I said, "Who are you?" "I'm death. I've come for you. But I didn't invite you." This reminds me of Monty Python, the series. He said, "Hi, Mr. Death, how are you? Please come and have a tea." Yeah, coming back to our story. Death was standing. He said, "Well, I come uninvited. So why have you come for me?" "Well, it's about time for you to go." I said, "How come it's about time for me to go? I just was counting my money and I have 100 million. I need to enjoy this 100 million now." I said, "Well, that's not my business." I said, "Okay, fine. I give you 50 million. Just give me one day that I can enjoy the other 50 million. I said, "No, not possible." Then he said, "Okay, I give you 75 million. You see how hypocrite is human being? "Give me half a day." I said, "Not possible. Time is time." Then he said, "But please, there must be something, I give the whole 100 million. Give me 1 hour." Dev said, "No, not possible." Then he said, "Okay." Seeing the sincereness of this person, he said, "Okay, fine. I give you a few seconds only." The man quickly ran to the table, grab a pen and write on a paper. Don't wait for the last moment to enjoy life. As long as life is there, make the best out of it. Get to know who you are, really. Don't waste your time in petty things, which things that you think that you will need in life and then you don't need it. So, like that, you see. Life, people long for so many things, perfection in so many outside reality. But yet they ignore the inner perfection. You know, they want to be perfect in their work, they want to be perfect in their relationship, they want to be perfect in this, and are they really perfect in all these things? You know, if you are not perfect in your mind here, how can you be perfect in all these things outside? Most of the time when you're talking about perfection, you see, there is such a pressure upon you, you know, which really make everything imperfect. Do you do it with love? Do you do it with freedom? Do you do it with an attitude of gratitude into it? No, you don't. When we talk about external perfection from the world outside, people have a notion that there is a certain pressure upon them, certain, yes, I must do it like this, I must do it. There's so much tension upon themselves. And that's what they call perfection. So don't look for that kind of perfection. It's true that you have to do your work in the best way, give your as much as you can into that, you know. You have to do it with love. Then it is perfect. When you love what you're doing, you pour that love from deep within and pour it into your job, you know. Krishna said, you know, in the Gita, do everything as a service upon to me, but don't be attached to the result of it. Why do you think he said that? Because he is the only source of all result. And if you are doing everything for the sake of God, then you don't need to be attached to that result itself. You don't need to put pressure upon you. Otherwise it is not perfect. And like I said, looking for true perfection is only when you dive within that divine consciousness within yourself and find Him. Then you can attain, by His grace, that state of perfection. And once you have attained that state of perfection, and everything that you touch will be imprinted with such perfection itself. And that happened through the grace of God. You know. So try to aim for that kind of perfection. But doesn't mean that you should not do your work on the outside in a proper way. Again, like I said, as a reminder that you have to do everything with love. Everything as a service to Srimad Narayana, to God. You know, when you have that deep inside of you, what else is needed? Because everything that you do will have the peace which you have inside. Everything you do will have that radiant, that shine that you have inside of you. So aim for that shine to shine through you. Aim for that perfection to happen to you. So.
Guruji, I am a Saivite. Lord Shiva is more near to me than Lord Krishna, but I never want to disrespect anyone in the divine hierarchy. Can I really become a Vaishnava devotee? You are my guru and I'm struggling with this. What should I do?
Oh, I think I know who you are. Look, when one attains the Supreme Lord, there is no Vaishnava or Shaktas. Everybody, he will grace each one accordingly. You know, like you should know, you see, Lord Shiva is so dear to Lord Krishna. You see, human beings like to separate. You know, saying Saivite is best. The devotee of Shiva said Saivite is better. Devotee of Krishna said we are better. Devotee of Devi said we are best. like that religion also, each religion are fighting between each another because they think that they are best. So, like you said, let's say I have great love for Lord Shiva. I don't have any discrimination towards Lord Shiva or Devi. Those who have discrimination towards Lord Shiva, they are not even worthy to worship Lord Krishna. You know, in Jiva Goswami Sandarbha, he said, you know, those who criticize Lord Shiva is not worthy to worship Lord Krishna. As knowing that devotion which Lord Shiva have for Krishna and the devotion which Krishna he also have for Lord Shiva, it's amazing. That relationship that these two share, it's amazing, really. You know, look at that devotion which Lord Shiva have for Lord Krishna when they did the Ras itself, you know. No one was allowed, no man was allowed in the Ras. But yet, when the Maharaj came, Lord Shiva had this pull, said, hey, I have to go. Do you think Bhagavan Krishna didn't know about that? He knew about it. He came in disguise as a gopi. And of course Lord Krishna wanted to dance with him only. Even being disguised, they dance merrily. Yeah. Who will comprehend that relationship which Bhagavan have with his devotee, you know, and the devotee have with his Supreme Lord? We see the different onto the outside, you know, like you said, you know, you have great love for Lord Shiva. You know, nobody have stopped you of having this devotion to Lord Shiva. Like Krishna said, you know, the devotee of my devotee is dearest to me, you know. In the Vaishnava tradition, we consider Lord Shiva the greatest devotee of the Lord himself. He's constantly meditating upon, even in Shiv Puran himself, you see. Lord Shiva himself said to Parvati, when Parvati asked Lord Shiva, on whom are you meditating? You, which is the Lord of the free world, you know, on whom are you meditating? And Lord Shiva said, you know, I'm meditating upon the Supreme Lord himself, which is dearest to me, which is, I'm meditating upon Ram. So, even in Shiv Puran himself, Lord Shiva said, I'm meditating upon the Supreme Lord, you know, Ram. So, when Ram is sitting and meditating, look, when he built the bridge, on whom he meditated, on whom did he pray? He prayed to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, the Lord of the Gunas, now, the Lord of this material world, the Purusha of this world, this reality. Through his blessing only that one can transcend this reality. Without his blessing, one can't. One is trapped into delusion. You know, Maya is represented as Mahadevi. You know? So who is next to her? Mahadevi is Shiva. So only when one have that blessing of Lord Shiva, one can really have great devotion to Lord Krishna, to Srimad Narayana. So don't have this misconception, you know, or having this, oh, only one is greater. No, it is not. Because this relationship that Bhagavan have with his devotee is supreme, you know. The devotion which Lord Shiva have for Krishna is amazing. The devotion which Krishna even have for Lord Shiva is amazing. That's why you see when we look at Panduranga, Vitthal, for example, have you ever noticed on his head what there is? Very often people ask, why, Panduranga's tilak is different. There is a round and a black dot. Very often people have asked, if you look clearly what it is. Actually, it is Krishna's best friend. It is Lord Shiva himself. It is the yoni and the ling, looking from the top, which symbolize creation. I hold creation, I hold him dear to me. When Lord Krishna was going to look for Rukmini, it is said that he didn't want to go alone. Because you see, when your wife is angry, I don't think you would like so much to face your angry wife by yourself. So Krishna asked Lord Shiva to accompany him. He said, Prabhu, I'm going to look for Rukmini, but I don't want to go alone. It's not because he is scared of Rukmini. This is his Leela. You see, when you go somewhere, you can do a journey alone, or you can do a journey with a friend. So he asked Lord Shiva, come, please come with me, accompany me. And Lord Shiva happily agreed, because this is a different Leela that he's going to enact there. So he wanted to be part of it. That's why when you look at the deity of Panduranga, the top also is the Shivaling. There was a bhakta, a devotee of Lord Shiva, called Narhari Sonar. So this devotee of Lord Shiva, he lived in Pandharpur. And he was such a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva that from childhood he had taken a vow that he will never ever look at even the temple of Panduranga. He would not even look at the flag of Panduranga. So whenever he will come out from his house, he will cover his face and look the opposite way. Such was his devotion to Lord Shiva. He said that he don't want to look at Krishna. So one day there was a rich merchant, and he wanted to make a belt for Vithala. And he was looking everywhere for a jeweler. And there was no one. And so the people told him to go to Narhari Sonar, he's a jeweler. Then when he went there, Narhari Sonar said, no way, I will not make anything for that one. So then he said, please, please, he begged him. He said, okay, fine. You measure the waist and I will make it. So finally he accepted. So when he made it, according to the measurement, when they place that belt on Vithala, it was too short. So they brought it back, and he again rectified it. Said, okay, it's too short. So they added. This time it was too long. So then they beg Narhari Sonar, please, we have been trying to measure it, it's not possible. Can you please come and measure it yourself? Narhari Sonar said, no way I'm coming there. Do whatever you want. My life can go. I will not put my feet in that temple. That was his devotion to Lord Shiva. So finally, they convinced him. They said, okay, fine. But with one condition. He will be blindfolded completely. Even his face will be masked completely, but he don't breathe the air from Panduranga. Yeah. So they took him by the hand and brought him in the temple. And in the temple, of course, he took the belt and he was measuring. And as he was measuring, his hand, of course, when you measure, you have to measure around. He will feel that it is not Vitthal which was standing, it was the Shiva Linga which was there. And he was wondering, why does this God look like my God? Why does this Krishna look like a Shivling? So he was touching everywhere, it was round, and he was confused. What he did? He removed the blindfold. And when he removed the blindfold, to his amazement, in front of him was Panduranga standing. Vitthal was standing. And he said, not possible. This is not what I was touching. Again, he put the blindfold. Again, when he put the blindfold and he touched, it was a Shivling. How is this possible? Again, he removed the blindfold. Again, Vitthal was standing in front of him. Like that, he come to the realization that it is the same Supreme Lord, He realized that there is no difference between the Bhakta and the beloved. There is no difference between Lord Shiva and Krishna. And most of the time, you see, this misconception is only in the mind of fanatic people. When people become so fanatic, they lose the capacity of thinking. They lose the capacity even in seeing what Bhagwan himself has said. How dear is Lord Shiva to me. So, just love, and knows what the Lord himself represents, and what is their relationship together. And don't make this don't have this as a make human fight, thinking that they are also fighting. They are not fighting. They don't have any problem with each other. It is human that have problem with each other. So,
dear Guruji, what is the Divine Mother's role in creating the universe and the relationship between her and the Lord Narayana? How important is it to worship her as well as deepen our relationship with the Lord?
Look, Bhagwan, he is a supreme Lord, there's nothing higher than him. But at the same time, you see, for things to manifest, you need the Shakti, So this Shakti itself is his manifestation. So it is through his will that she manifests everything. So without him willing, they work together, He holds everything. Like in chapter 7, verse 7 of Bhagavad Gita, he said, there is nothing higher than me. O Arjun, everything rests upon me, just like pearl resting, held by a string. So like that, you see, everything, there's nothing higher than him. There's no, there's two reality that we see here. We see a lower reality and we see a higher reality. When he's saying that there's nothing higher than me, the moment you say that there's nothing higher than something, that means there's two reality. One dwell on the lower reality, one dwell into the higher reality. So this manifestation which dwell on a lower reality is a manifestation of the finite. So that is the role of the Divine Mother. But transcending this finite reality, attaining to the infinite reality, which is the Supreme Lord itself. So worshipping the Divine Mother is essential, because when we talk about worshipping, we talk about also having respect towards her. As a mother, she cares for each one of us. And as a mother, she cares that each one rise to the fullness of one ability and reach the feet of the Supreme Lord. This is her duty as a mother. She cares for her children. Look at a mother, normal mother itself, you know. A mother, how much a mother cares for one child. You know? You may not realize it now, but when you look and analyze how a mother functions, you will see. This is how the Divine Mother cares for each one of her children. So, that Supreme Lord, you know, which hold everything. You know, when he's saying about this, the pearls, you know, holding everything. It's amazing how it is put here, you see. Each pearls, when we look at them, they all look the same. You know? On a that's a garland of pearls. They all look the same, so beautifully. But yet the string is completely different from it. That string hold upon this unity. So like that, you see, he holds everything. Even, you see, in the multitude of names and forms which exist in this reality, in this universe itself, you know. But yet, that essence which holds everything, it is only one essence, that is him. So everything rests upon him, you know. There's nothing else than him. You see, like an ocean, which, you know, when you look at an ocean, waves can rise, you know, it have its form and everything, but yet afterwards the waves go back into the ocean. Without the ocean, will the waves exist? It will not exist. So without the Atma, will you and every living entities have, you know, it will not. So within that essence which holds everything, it is the Supreme Lord himself, the Paramatma, you know, that great soul which is in every living entities, that what hold everything together. And this is through the blessing of the Great Mother itself, you know. So, worshipping the Divine Mother is essential also, you know, through reverence, you know, but we should not ignore what a mother do for each one. So, and her role is that you reach the feet of Srimad Narayana.
Guruji, what is the deeper meaning of the relationship between Karna and Duryodhana? What is the deeper meaning of the relationship between Karna and Duryodhana?
The deeper relationship.
Deeper meaning of their relationship.
The deeper meaning of the relationship.
Is Karna's friendship an example of Duryodhana's love despite so many negative qualities?
Well, for that we have to see the quality of both of them, you know. Often what we see on the outside, one is respecting his friendship and the other one is abusing his friendship. Because Duryodhana knew very well that Karna was a great warrior, you know. Of course he want him. No matter what, I want him. So I may give him a palace, I may name him, you know, a king, make him a king, but because I want something from him. And on the other side, does Karna doesn't know about that? Karna knew about it, but Duryodhana need him, is using him. But yet, why did he stand always by the side? You know, this is one thing you have to understand. That name, that word, friendship. That word friendship is not just a simple word. You know, like Krishna himself said, if ever you have one friend in your life, one, treasure that friend. Why do you think he didn't say, if ever you have friends in your life? Because true friendship is very rare. Nobody can really be a true friend. Many people say, yes, you are my friend. But the moment you have problem, you see how they disappeared in your life. You know, the moment they see that there is nothing that they can profit from you, see how they disappeared from your life. And they call themselves friends. You know, true friends is the one that don't judge you and stand by you at all time. There is not a single moment that they don't stand by you. They are ever ready to help you in any moment, asking or not asking. And they care for you. It's not friends who tell you, yes, come, we go and do stupid things. No, your friend will always guide you in a right way. And it will always make you reason of not doing anything which is not right. So let's come now and analyze, why did Karna not rejecting the friendship of Duryodhana? You see, when Karna didn't have anything, everybody was ridiculizing him. Everybody was pointing finger to him. Even his own mother, who knew who he was, could not say, you are my son. You know, everybody was ridiculizing him. Who stand by him at that moment was Duryodhana. You know, how bad he could be, but he stood by him. He said, no, he's my friend. And I stand by him. I'll give him everything. So, if somebody in that time has stand by you, you know, in somebody's life who doesn't have anything, who's going through all this, criticism, not criticism, not blame, judgment. And then somebody, other support, stand by you. You know what it is, that? And that is, even if Duryodhana was doing it in a spirit of, yes, I want him because he's a great warrior, but yet from his point of view, you know, he knows that he has stand by me, I will always stand by him. And this is the concept of Karna. When he gave his word, he stand by his word also. Before the war, started, Krishna approached him and revealed to him, said that you are the first Pandava. You are the first, not Pandava, you are the first son of Kunti. Would you let go and join the Pandava? Now that you know that you are the first, you are the Pandavas are your brothers, would you let go of Duryodhana? He said no. Where was he when they were all judging me, calling me all names? Duryodhana stood by me. In the name of that friendship, I can't change. Even if I have to fight my brother, I will fight them. Even Kunti went there. I said, now that you know that I know, I know that you are my mother. And to protect your other son, that's why you have come to me. But I will not change my mind. I have given my word to Duryodhana. I will stand by him. Because I do know the true value of friendship. I know what that word friendship means. Even if I have to give my life for the sake of that friendship, I will. And this is when somebody really knows what is friendship. They stand by that. Not people who call you friendship on friends on Facebook. You have thousands and millions of friends on Facebook. Are they really your friends? Do they really know you? Do you really know them? No, you don't know. These are all cheap friendship. You have so many friends. You have throughout life. How many friends have you met? As you were growing up, in school, how many? You say, yes, oh, this is my best friend, that's my best friend, this is my best friend. Where are they, your friend? Your friend stay with you. When you have this one friend, I'm not saying about many friends, one friend, no matter what goes on in your life, however you are in your life, that friend will stand by you all the time. At any cost, that friend will be there for you. That is your true friend. And if you find that true friend into the world, in a person, yes, treasure that friendship. But knows one thing, that true friend is the Lord himself, is Giridhari himself. He is with you, he was with you, he is with you, and he will always be with you. No matter what happened in your life, he will never let go of you. He's not like normal, like human being, Human being, today they will say, yes, they love you, they love you, they love you. I love you, I will give my life for you. And then tomorrow, the same person will dagger you. It have happened to me so many times. People who say today they love you, they love you, they love you. And tomorrow, they dagger you. For what? Because of their own idiocy. Because they don't understand, what is a relationship. So like that in your life, you will meet many kind of people. Some they will say, oh yeah, you are like our parents. You are like our mother, father. You are like our child. You are like our, friends and so on. Yes, you see, there is a nice relationship, there is this feeling, There's nothing wrong in that feeling to happen. When this feeling happens, be sincere. If you feel from your side that somebody is like your child, treat that person as your child. If you see that feeling inside of you, that person is a friend, treat that person with sincereness as a friend. So just be sincere about your feeling when you tell somebody that you are my friend, you are my child, you are my parents, you are my, mother, father, whatever you feel inside of you. Because that feeling which is deep inside of you is not a fake feeling. It's a feeling which awake from the deepness of your soul itself. And that feeling, from which life does it come from? There's a recognition. No? That's why that feeling awake. So that sincerity must be there. And the same thing, when Karna took Duryodhana, even knowing that Duryodhana is the worst person that exists, but yet he said, you are my friend. And that sincereness which Karna have inside of him, you know, that's what Krishna even praised him, you know. But in spite of knowing that he will die, in spite of knowing that whatever will happen, but yet he stood by his friend, you know. So when we talk about this relationship, when we talk about that friendship, it's not just a superficial, it's just not a made-up word, you know, but there is this deepness into that. So if ever you feel deep inside of you, treasure that, because that is the most wonderful treasure. Jai Gurudev.